New 52.
Oh, you did it! Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the 52nd episode of Comics Covered, and it is a new episode, so I could call it the New 52. This is the reboot of Comics Covered. We're throwing out all previous continuity except all the continuity we want to stay in there, and we're going to slowly reintroduce all the bits of continuity that we like over time until it's very confusing what has and hasn't happened.
Wonderful.
Wunderbar.
Who's Wally West and who's Barry Allen between us?
Well.
Or no, we can do both the new and old Wally West too. Do you want to be the new one and I'll be the old one?
I'll be new 52 Wally West, and you can be, well, I'm a redhead, so maybe I should be, anyways, this is Comics Covered for the week of November 21st, 2018, episode 52.
Yeah.
Here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and sort of the world around them, the comics industry, comic movies, TV, and games. We will also talk spoilers about the books that we read. We'll warn you about that, though. I'm Doug. I've been reading comics for a while. Jack has been reading comics for a little bit less time. He's my co-host here.
Yes.
But he's kind of also been reading comics for a while at this point.
I've read a lot of comics at this point. A decent amount.
Yeah. And you have entered a sort of fever state in your comic reading habit. I don't know. I feel like every time I talk to you, you're like, I'm reading these 10 million new things. You went out on Black Friday and bought a shit ton of stuff.
Oh, it's great. I got 12 books on Black Friday for about $90 total. And it was awesome. That works out to $7.50 for each trade. And some of them were very large.
That's nice. I don't think any of my shops had a Black Friday sale around here.
That's
not that I could find online anyways.
Okay. But yeah, yesterday I also went kind of crazy and I read a lot yesterday. So
nice.
On top of finishing my last book in Dan Slott's big time Spider-Man era, I also read the first part of AD After Death by Scott Snyder and Jeff Lemire, which was amazing. I read the first 3 issues of... Do you remember who wrote that Moon Knight thing that I borrowed from you? Because that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that was Hester, wasn't it? No, not Hester. Huston. Yeah, that guy wrote this Moon Knight thing, and I read 3 issues of it, and then after 3 issues, I was like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing that was one of the earliest. I threw out what we're talking about here is I had a giant pile of. I still have a giant pile. It's slightly less giant, but not much. Of comics that I was going to either donate or throw away, or so I was going to get rid of them in some fashion.
Where do you donate comics? Just go to your local comic store and be like, here you go?
In the past, I've just gone to thrift stores just because, I don't know.
Oh.
I feel this weird guilt about going to a comic book store and giving it to them because they actually know what they're looking for, and I know that I'm giving them a chore. And I know, theoretically, if there's stuff in there they want, they would want that. But also, something about it I feel uncomfortable with. I know I shouldn't. It's a dumb thing. It's dumb. Anyways.
Wow. Wait, should I go to thrift stores? Do a lot of people do that? Should I go to thrift stores and look for comics?
I know I've gone to thrift stores before, not specifically to get comics, but sometimes they'll have a big box of comics, and I go long box diving.
Interesting. We should do that. Huh, I should do that.
It's not a guarantee that every thrift store is going to have some, but sometimes they will. A few of the ones I used to go to in Chicago, I'd look through them when I was there.
Okay.
But anyways, I was throwing out a bunch of stuff, and Jack sorted through all of it and grabbed stuff that he wanted, and that Moon Knight thing was one of them. It was Danny Huston and David Finch.
I think David Fincher.
That's David Fincher. It's something Finch.
I don't know. I think you're right, but I really love the art, and I think it looks beautiful. And for the first couple issues, it's good and interesting. it just doesn't really seem to go many places.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was one of the earliest comics that I read and liked, and it was like in high school. So
yeah,
I think
you had a shitty taste, Doug.
Well, yes, I was in high school. So it's very like, oh, look how dark and crazy this is.
Yeah, it basically is. He rips the guy's face off.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, then I dropped that, and then I started reading. We got a trade of Isola, which is a new current series, and they're on a trade back right now, starting up in January. So I decided to read this first trade and then start the issues in January. It's beautiful.
Nice.
It's about a bunch of animals and fantasy, and it's very cool. So,
animals and fantasy.
You know what? How's your Thanksgiving, Doug? Happy?
Oh, I completely forgot it was Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was great. Yeah. I spent it with both my girlfriend's family up in northern Minnesota, and also...
How many families does she have?
What?
You said both your girlfriend's families.
You didn't let me finish my sentence. And my family.
Oh, sorry.
Down here in the cities. It was very nice. It was a lovely long weekend.
What was the best food item you had?
The best food item? The mashed potatoes they had were especially good.
Which
I don't
one?
know what the difference was. Up at my girlfriend's place.
Very nice.
Very good.
Garlic?
Maybe? I never asked. I just thought in my head, this is delicious, and then I kept stuffing my face.
Oh, that's nice. It's good to be aware of those thoughts, though. You know, that interior monologue. That would be what it would say on your, comic sheet. The comic about Doug would be like, these mashed potatoes are delicious.
There'd be a caption box, and it'd just say, mashed potatoes, delicious, note to self.
And the noise would be like, whoosh, of the mashed potatoes going into your mouth.
Uh-huh. If it was an anime, I'd be eating it, and I'd be going,
It really is amazing. You know, how people don't make those sounds in normal life. It's crazy.
No, they don't. How was yours? How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was great. It was fun. We were with Samantha's family. It was great. I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, that's about it. I learned more about pecan pie recently. Two things.
I'm curious. Okay, where is this going?
Well, I've never been that attracted to pecan pie. I like pecans.
I'm very attracted to pecan pie.
I don't know what that means. Do you like pecan pie or?
You've never been attracted to it? Is just a weird way to put it. Anyways.
I'm sorry that I speak in a weird way. You say weird words too.
Okay, and you give me crap for it every time, so I'm gonna return the favor.
I'm very sensitive, Doug. Okay, apparently. Pecan pie. So, I always never really, was into it, but apparently, it's, just this sugary brown taste. Yeah. So, paste thing with, some pecans in it. That sounds better than pecan pie. You know what I mean? It should be sugary brown paste pie.
That sounds better than pecan pie.
To me, doesn't it?
Sugary brown paste pie with some pecans.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. Apparently, what is it? Have you ever been to a Marie Callender's? They have a bunch of pie.
I don't know that I have.
But you know of them?
I'm aware.
Okay, so they have a bunch of pie, and their pecan pie, one slice of it is 750 calories or some shit like that.
It's just sugar. It's an enormous amount of sugar.
That's nuts. But apparently it's a lot because of the pecans, and nuts have a lot of calories too.
Sure.
So yeah.
I love pecan pie. Pecan pie is delicious.
Oh, okay. That's good. I've never actually had it yet, so I'm excited. But Doug, are we going to start talking about the comics, or do you have more? What'd you see? What is this movie that you saw? I've never heard of it.
I saw Can You Ever Forgive Me last night, which is a recent Melissa McCarthy movie.
Okay.
But anyways, it's a drama kind of dark comedy thing where she's a failed author and she starts forging letters of correspondence from famous writers and personalities.
I feel like I've heard of this before.
It was very good.
Okay.
It's just a nice, laid back kind of drama thing. It was exactly what I was in the mood for last night, and it was very nice. I want to try to go see more non-blockbuster stuff. I've gotten very much in a rut of just seeing all the big genre stuff. For movies, and I'm trying to make an effort to go see some other stuff. I think we're going to go see Bohemian Rhapsody at some point today.
Oh, today?
Mm-hmm.
How fun! Wait, you should see The Favorite by Yorgos Lanthimos.
It's not out here yet. Our landmark is getting it on the 7th.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll report back when I see it. Mm-hmm. Also, have you seen Widows?
No, I really want to see that too. I'm trying to talk my girlfriend Leah into seeing a double feature.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough for her.
Yeah.
But in any case, speaking of Thanksgiving, I was talking to my girlfriend Samantha's great aunt, who is a very fun, interesting person to talk to. She works with clients sometimes to like deal with trauma and stuff like that in their past. And she overheard me telling Samantha's cousin about Heroes in Crisis.
Okay.
And she said, "Oh, would you give me the information for that? I would actually love to look that up so I can maybe use it in my work with clients." And I tried to describe it to her in a way that would maybe turn her off of that, because I don't think it would be that great. Yeah. And I don't know if she'll understand anything going on.
Yeah.
But I sent her a very lengthy email yesterday about the premise and everything she really needs to know in general. Like, basically, I told her who Booster Girl and Harley Quinn are, and I gave her the solicitation. So I'm just going to let her run with that. She hasn't emailed me back yet. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but she might start reading this randomly, and it's going to be funny.
I don't know how useful it would be. Because
I told her it's like, it really is just a murder mystery, but with this
at least
peppered in.
So far, there's like a flavor of like mental health stuff kind of peppered in, and kind of some psychological analysis stuff, but like the plot is more about the murder mystery.
But who knows? She might love it. Maybe she'll just go every week now. Yeah, I don't know, how old is she? Like 70, probably late 70s or so. So
I don't know how old is she either.
You know what? The other thing I did this weekend was I finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, and Doug, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It's great. It's like edge of your seat, awesome shit.
Okay. See, that seems hyperbolic in a way that I don't buy.
What do you mean?
Because I've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I know.
And yes, maybe it's a step above, maybe it's a big step above what it has been in the past, but I don't know that I would say that even the best of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was, like, amazing. I don't know.
You have not seen the best of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
Where did you stop watching?
It was midway through the season where they had Ghost Rider. So I think it's the season that you just finished.
Oh, really? Wow. You got all the way there? You watched all the third season and all up to there? Okay. Yep. Well, I think the best shit is at the back half of the season 4, right after you watched.
Probably right after I stopped watching. I don't know.
It's really funny, actually. Because, can I give you a little flavor of what they're dealing with?
You give me a little tease, because I need the motivation. Because I'm having trouble getting myself to do it.
Basically, people start getting replaced by identical robots, evil identical robots.
Life model decoys?
Yes. And what is it? And the real people are put into a position. They are living a life that is very interesting and different than their normal life.
Okay.
But it's really, really, it's cool.
All right.
But yeah, are life model decoys a big thing in the Marvel universe? Because yes. I get the idea that it is.
Yes, they are a long-standing bit of lore in the Marvel universe. Life model decoys.
Okay.
Robots that look exactly like a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
very interesting. But yeah, I loved it, and I started this 5th season, which is a lot different. I don't know if you've heard the 5th season. It's not a spoiler.
It's in space, right?
It's them in space. They're in space.
Everything I've seen about it just seems like it kind of jumped the shark a bit.
It does feel like it jumped the shark, but it's still really good.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I would just give the back half of season 4 a little bit of a shot.
All right.
I'm glad I did.
Sure.
But Doug, do you want to go into our news?
Sure. Not a ton of news this week, but a couple kind of interesting tidbits here. Jack.
What?
Are you an Amazon Prime member?
You know what? This is very relevant. Yesterday, I get an email from 2 days ago. I got an email from Amazon Prime Amazon that said, "Hey, do you want Prime for a month?" And I was like, "Hey, sure, why not?" And I got it. So I am an Amazon Prime member.
For 1 month for free, right?
For 1 month for free, but it's the only one that's relevant to this news story, right?
No, for sure. You are a member in the time frame that's relevant here. So I am also an Amazon Prime member. Oh. I don't know if I'll take advantage of this or not, but yes, yes. I'm like swilling my wine around in my hand, good. Just kind of circling it. So Amazon Prime members, really weird deal here, are going to get to see the theatrical release of Aquaman almost a week early. So it's very strange. You have to buy tickets online through Amazon. It's on the 15th rather than the regular release on the 21st.
So Warner Brothers is really trying everything to get people excited in the door, right?
Yeah, I like remembered this today when I was looking for news, and I put it on here, and then I was like, oh, I should buy some tickets, and then I got all the way to the buy page, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is Aquaman. Do I care?
By James Wan, no less.
Which.
Exactly. It's not that it's bad. It's fine.
He's made good stuff. He's made good stuff. Yeah. He's also made stuff I don't like. I like the Conjuring movies.
The Conjuring's great. I think Saw is made well. I just don't think it's as good of a movie as a lot of people think. You know?
I have a strong distaste for those movies.
I just think it's made well. I think the first one is made well.
Anyways, but that's a really interesting. I've never heard of something like that. Like, at first when I heard this news, I assumed it was like, oh, you'll get to stream it early or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I first saw it posted.
But no, you're I look like I can go see it at the AMC near me. It's a theatrical release. You just get to see an advanced screening of it for being an Amazon Prime member. It's weird.
That's kind of shitty for the theater, though, because it's limiting the amount of sales they can do for this whole theater. Like, what if they might not sell out for this huge movie that's coming out and it's just taking up a theater.
Yeah, but I assume they're getting money from Amazon or from the, I don't know. I don't know how this deal works, but, I assume the theaters would not be doing it if it was not somehow,
beneficial
to them. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. I've never heard of something like this.
It's 3 huge companies coming together to do a deal. You know, it's the movie theater, it's the Amazon, and it's the studio. So it's just I just think Warner Brothers is trying every fucking way to get talk around their movies more so.
I think they're trying to get some early buzz out there, which one would hope that means that they're confident in it, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, do you remember how much marketing there was for Batman v Superman?
I don't remember. Was there a ton?
Oh, it was crazy. It was nuts.
I don't know. I don't have TV, but
okay. I just feel like just looking around, what is it? Out of home print media and stuff like that. That means crazy. Billboards. I'm using jobby words.
You probably have a lot more billboards out in California, especially movie billboards.
I actually really did notice that there are fucking tons of them and posters just posted all over the place for movies, TV, and you know what all the TV ones have on them?
What?
3 words that you never see in your part of the world. For your consideration.
Oh, for like Oscars and awards.
Emmys more so. It's insane. It's on every single TV billboard.
B-board?
Shut up. Billboard. And it was crazy. When I got out here, I was like, oh, for your consideration. Am I considering it? Thank you.
Yes, I will consider that.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if this is successful or not, and if they do more of this kind of stuff going forward. Because I mean, hey, I've been an Amazon Prime member for a while. If they did this with other movies, I don't know that I would complain. I have not looked because I didn't make it to the like seat selection thing, so I didn't see how full this thing is.
Oh, you should have.
Because they have one showing on this day for my AMC near me, so I'm really curious.
Do you have it the week of too, or is it just one showing?
It's one showing on that day.
That's it? That's the only time Amazon Prime members can come.
At least at my theater, I didn't like look at other theaters, but I assume it's at least only on that day. I don't know if other theaters have multiple showings or something, but I think it's like a special event thing.
That's so interesting. Wow. Okay. Huh. Weird. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I'm probably not going to see Aquaman until I can stream it for free. So.
So in other news, Hulu has picked up a pilot for Jeff Lemire's comic Sweet Tooth.
Never heard of it. What is it? Have you read it?
I have read the first few issues. I've always meant to go back and read more. So I can't.
How do you do that?
I have the worst attention span. Just
that is
terrible.
So weird. You've always meant to go back and read, like you just didn't just keep getting it because you liked it?
Yeah. Well, I was reading it way after the fact. Like I wasn't like picking up issues and I just stopped picking them up. Like
that's what I was imagining. You got a trade of it.
I think I read a couple issues digitally at some point, but anyways, so Sweet Tooth is a Jeff Lemire written and drawn series that I believe he did at Image. I don't recall. That might be wrong. But Sweet Tooth. Yeah, it's about a little half deer boy.
What? Like a fawn?
Sort of.
Isn't that
it's like out in the country in Canada, and there's a boy, I think he's maybe the product of like animal hybridization, like genetic engineering stuff.
Dang.
Yes, here we go. Sweet Tooth is a story about a special hybrid boy named Gus. Unlike most other hybrids, Gus was not born conventionally, but in a lab.
Wow.
Anyways,
it says here that it's Mad Max meets Bambi.
Sure. Okay, I'm not entirely sure where the Mad Max fits into this, but I guess I have not.
They said it takes place in a mostly rural post-apocalyptic setting where some creatures are human-animal hybrids.
I don't know that I had realized from that first couple issues that it was post-apocalyptic. It's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere where there's no people. But so I guess maybe that wasn't clear yet or wasn't revealed.
It was Vertigo.
Yeah, okay, so that's technically at DC. But
I did not know that Jeff Lemire was Canadian.
Yes. Yeah, a bunch of his indie stuff is set in Canada.
Interesting. Very interesting. I feel like I get that idea now. Like, after reading, like, Royal City, I get the idea that it was kind of in Canada probably, too. You should read that, by the way. Another series written and drawn by Jeff Lemire.
Yeah. And, yeah, a lot of his stuff is just kind of set in, like, rural settings that, like, could or could not be in America or Canada. But, yeah. Cool. So, that's interesting. Maybe that'll get me to finally read it.
Do it. You should do it.
It's probably great. I heard good things about it when it was coming out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, I actually wanted to take this opportunity also to ask about another series that's written and drawn by Jeff Lemire. Have you ever heard of this story called Lost Dogs?
Nope.
Okay. It was written in 2005. a while ago, and apparently it's very hard to find. And we found it at this, I think it was in some like bargain area or like some smaller like get rid of it area of a comic store. It looks really weird. It's like a bunch of like, it looks like chalk art, honestly. It looks like a bunch of chalk.
Lost Dogs. I'm trying to find this. It's a top shelf book.
Oh, is that a publisher or I don't know?
Yes. Top Shelf is a publisher.
Okay.
It is a graphic novel, I see. Oh, I've seen this before. Like in stores. Not very often, but
I got you. Yeah, it's a very small book.
It says long out of print.
Yeah, that's what we found.
Did you buy an old version of it, or it looks like they did a new printing of it sometime recently?
I feel like we got an old version of it because it's a very small book. It's not like a special thing at all. It's like almost a leaflet looking thing.
Yeah, 104-page mythic yarn is what it says.
Mythic yarn? What does that mean?
It's mythic.
Mythic yarn.
It says, follows a family man who's larger than life, but even he may not be powerful enough to prevent the loss of everything he's ever known.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm excited. That's one thing I'm very excited to read.
Yeah. It's Jeff Lemire, so it's probably great.
Well, we don't know that. What if it's goes into like a crazy... Well, no, never mind. It is Jeff Lemire. Nonetheless...
Not everything he's ever written has been a slam dunk, but in general, at least, anything he comes out with is at least competent and usually interesting.
Yes.
Is what I would say. And his good stuff is very good. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about our weekly comics.
Wonderful.
All right, so this week we read a bunch of comics like we do every week. This week,
never do that.
As opposed to all the other weeks, we read a bunch of comics. Anyways, this week we both read Black Hammer: Age of Doom #6, Cover #3, Immortal Hulk #9, Justice League #12, Justice League Dark #5.
Which, by the way, I'm sorry, it's so weird that Justice League Dark is #5 when we've had a 5-part weekly series already. It's basically Justice League Dark. It's 10, basically.
Oh, is that what that note you put on there was? I was confused what that meant.
No. I don't believe that was 4, but maybe. But I just think it's ridiculous that it's just 5, but we've had like at least a 5-issue series with it.
For other than the one, I do get kind of annoyed with that kind of stuff because I feel like that should have just been like just a mini series, like just on its own. If they don't want to put it in the Justice League Dark thing, or just have Justice League Dark go monthly for a month, like Avengers did a while back.
I mean, weekly for a month.
Weekly for a month. That's what I meant. Like Avengers did a while for No Surrender. You know, like
exactly.
It's not that weird. Like they did it. Like, like James Tynion wrote all of those. It's not like they were doing some weird crossover. They were crossing over with Wonder Woman, a character who's on this team.
Arguably the main character on the team.
It is all a bit silly. I don't know.
Does Marvel... It doesn't seem like Marvel does that, and DC's super into that, like, let's just put a random crossover in here. But Marvel doesn't really do that.
Marvel has crossover stuff, but DC's much bigger into that these days, like especially that format that they seem to have settled into of the like, we're gonna go basically weekly for the length of this story and crossover between issues. Yeah, they've been doing that a lot lately. Marvel will do a crossover thing every once in a while, but not nearly as often. Anyways, rest of the books. Marvel Knights is 20th anniversary part of the title?
I think it is, because it says MK20. I think it's Marvel Knights 20th anniversary, #2. I think it is.
Okay, well, see, because the title just says, on this issue at least, #2, just says Marvel Knights, where the title goes, then over under, like, the number over here, it says MK20. So anyways, I think it's just called Marvel Knights, but every solicitation has 20th anniversary on it, and I don't like it. I just want to call it Marvel Knights.
You don't like it?
I'm lazy.
I don't like it.
Web of Venom, Carnageborn, #1. And Jack, what did you pick up?
I had a couple of newer series called Whispering Dark #2 and Night Moves #1, which is IDW.
Cool. And I picked up the 59th issue of Batman, East of West #40, Pearl #4, because I'm reading that alone now, and the first issue of another new series, American Carnage #1. So we'll maybe talk about a couple of those new series in a little bit here, but first off, let's talk about some of the books that we both read.
Yes.
And let's start off with the aforementioned dual #5, #10 issue of Justice League Dark. So this book by James Tynion IV, art by I don't know if this is a fill-in artist or if this is going to be the artist for some of this arc or what. They've been jumping around.
Fucking well.
Yeah, I really like the art on this. James Tynion is this is a divide you will encounter or start to notice maybe now that I've pointed it out.
Okay.
Some writer, I don't know if it's a writer thing. I assume it's a writer thing because it's probably in their script. Some writers are a front of the book credits person.
Oh,
and some writers are a back of the book credits person. And James Tynion is a back of the book credits person, and I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
It's dumb. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It means nothing about the quality or anything of the book. It always annoys me because I'm always trying, when I start a book, I want to know who made it. And I'm always like, I was reading this issue and I was like, who did the art on this? And I don't want to flip to the end of the book because I'll spoil something.
So just read it.
Yes, but I want to keep in mind, like, what it, like, I like having the context of who made these things in mind while I'm reading them. It's just a thing I like. It's not important.
You can look it up online. The internet exists.
I can, but I'm sitting on my armchair with just kind of trying to read my book. I don't want to get on the computer.
I feel ya, and you probably don't have your phone anywhere near you when you are doing that.
No, I've thrown it across the room.
Yeah, of course. Everyone does that.
No screens. Anyways, dumb complaint.
It's the difference between Star Wars and like any movie that came out before that. It's the credits at the end as opposed to the beginning. What's wrong with that?
I just, no, it's just, it's, I don't know, because comic books, the credits change constantly. And it's like, it's not a pain, like, as opposed to like a TV show or something where like, if they put all the opening credits right at the beginning, I guess they do. They put at least,
main actors.
But they don't put like the cast and crew credits. They'll put like, I guess like maybe who wrote the episode sometimes, depending on the show. But anyways,
it depends.
But like comic books, it's such a just like, because you can just skip over that easily. So like, it's not annoying to put it at the front. Anyways,
you know what? Anything is better than what Marvel Knights did on its first issue, which was put the title and the credits like in the kind of middle, but not really.
Oh, yeah, that's always weird, late title card. Anyways.
I kind of like it, though. It's kind of fun sometimes.
It's kind of fun. It's fun if it's timed right. It's like a late title card in, like, games lately have gotten really big into late title cards.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, sometimes it'll be, like, hours into the game, and you'll be like, oh, shit, title now, I guess.
Well, I mean, games are getting longer and longer in general, so I feel like it might be because of that, you know?
Probably, but also, like, you still shouldn't put it hours into your game. Anyways, we're getting way off track here.
Sorry.
I got on this tangent because I just wanted to look up who was the artist on this. Daniel
Semperi.
Daniel Semperi.
So we got a person on pencils and inks. Does that mean the person with the inks just goes over the pencils?
Basically, I mean, if you really want to, like, boil it down, the penciler draws in pencil and then the inker goes through and, inks. But there's more to it than that. Like, there's a lot of, like, they're two different, like, kind of styles of line work, and different inkers have their own styles, and, like, there's a lot of, like, interpretation and stuff going into it. Like, some inkers can drastically change how art looks. Anyways, on a very basic level, yes, the penciler draws in pencils and the inker goes over with ink. But
okay,
Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, the art on this was I would say stellar. I think that most of the art on this book so far has been very good.
Yeah,
and
even if it's not consistent.
Yeah, it's sometimes a little inconsistent, but generally kind of a like broadly a similar style. Like, yeah. I think they've picked artists who like fit well together for the most part.
I will say my favorite one thus far has been that Martinez Bueno issue.
Alvaro Martinez Bueno, who has been, I think, for the most part, kind of the main artist on this. He's done the most issues.
Has he?
I think so. He was the original artist, and he did the first few issues at least.
Okay.
He has definitely. He's super great, but this art was really great, really strong. We're getting kind of the first half of this is so this is basically a book about a team of these dark supernatural characters in the DC universe, and a character named Detective Chimp, who we are big fans of on this show.
Oh yeah,
has been kind of in a weird way shoehorned into the world of magic in DC. And so we get kind of a flashback to kind of sort of how that happened in the beginning of this issue, and it's pretty touching.
It's very sad.
Yeah, and it's great. One of the things I love about James Tynion is his ability to kind of like ride that line of like taking something that's ridiculous and writing it just like as if you would write anything else, but making it work. You know, like he writes this tragic scene with Detective Chimp where he's like, it's his friend's funeral and he's drinking at a bar and he doesn't want to be like involved in the funeral and all that. But like, and it's ridiculous. Like he keeps, and he is aware of that. He keeps including this line, "The chimpanzee drinks," and but like it still works, you know. Like it still has an emotional weight to it, and I think that was really well done. That whole bit.
No, I agree completely. I love like just the timing of when he says that, and it, like going back and forth between people's direct relationships with this guy. I guess he was the Nightmaster. Did he have another name?
They gave his first name Jim Rook.
Okay.
But that was, but his superhero name, whatever, was Nightmaster. Yeah.
But it just really shows, I think, really great writing, because it's not like he just does this for no reason. He brings back two of these characters over the course of the rest of the issue. And this is a means to set up like their relationship. And so we have some sort of grounding when we see them again. Because I didn't know who like the Phantom Stranger or like Blue Devil. Like I've seen the Phantom Stranger around, but up until now in my comics reading, he's been his namesake, a Phantom Stranger, you know?
Yeah. He's kind of like almost like a Watcher-esque kind of character in the DC universe. He's like, he observes and doesn't interfere, but he does. Anyways, so it was a very well-timed kind of flashback. It ties into the story that we're telling, which is kind of like spinning off of some of the ideas around the Nightmaster and Detective Chimp. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. I wanted to say something about the chimpanzee drinks sequence.
Yes.
Like him saying that phrase. So Tom King this week tweeted out his 3 rules of writing. Did you see this?
No, but I know a lot of people were doing rules of writing or jokes about that this week on Twitter. So what was Tom King's?
Tom King's 3 rules of writing. 1, use a phrase, then repeat it as a callback until it seems to be deep. 2, use a phrase, then repeat it as a callback until it seems to be deep. 3, use a phrase, then repeat it as a callback until it seems to be deep.
Perfect. Tom King writes some drinks. Yes, the chimpanzee drinks. Tom King writes some shit on his Twitter sometimes that just absolutely savages his own work. Like really just rips it apart in a way that is very amusing, but also I like that he's like, it's good that he's
aware of that,
thinking about that stuff, you know?
But like, I know it's a joke, but like doing that does inherently make you think about what's being said each and every time. And maybe even if the artist doesn't mean to be deep, like if the reader feels that way and thinks about that more and how it means, if they have something to think about, then it is deep. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tool for emphasis, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're not, like, imbuing it with any kind of special meaning other than it makes you think about it. And that in and of itself kind of does make it deep, you know?
And I'm thinking about a chimpanzee drinking now, so there it is.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it too, Jack. And boy, oh boy.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, so this is a story about kind of how he came to inherit the mantle of the Nightmaster from his friend who died, and he apparently fucked up this magical world that he's supposed to be protecting. I don't know, we don't really know why yet, but he
Well, wait, I thought he got fucked up because of all the stuff in this story going on. Like, it's fucked up because people came to the bar and murdered everybody. Remember that in the last...
Well, that was the bar, but there's some sort of secret here where he, like, made some sort of pact with Blue Devil here, and he broke it. And Blue Devil is like this weird dark lord of what is this place called? Goodness.
Not Nanda Parbat?
No, it's not Nanda Parbat. Wow, what did he call this place? I have completely lost it. Anyways, this magical realm.
Myrrha. Sorry.
Myrrha. Yes.
Myrrha.
Myrra.
That's right. I forgot about this. You're right.
Yes. Meanwhile, John Constantine and Swamp Thing are off kind of trying to deal with Nabu, who has taken over Dr. Fate's body.
Isn't Nabu
basically
like the entity that's in the helmet?
Yes. So basically
Okay.
the spirit that normally lives in the helmet, the spirit who gives Dr. Fate his or her power, has taken control of Dr. Fate. I don't recall if it's just like him under the helmet or if he took over Kent Nelson's body, but
haven't they shown Nabu as a, I don't know, Nabu?
Nabu. I don't know.
Nabu.
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. I don't know. Like, I feel like they've shown him as just a helmet whenever he's just a helmet.
Sure.
Right?
Okay. So he's just controlling him from the helmet. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But
okay.
Anyways, he's taken over Dr. Fate in some form and is, I don't really entirely get his deal yet. He keeps explaining it and I keep just being like, okay.
Was he evil before the witching hour or something? Because I feel like
it was a plot thread that they kind of like got away from and we're getting back to now. They kind of like put it aside for witching hour, and then because that was like a big thing in like the second issue, I think. That was when that happened.
Maybe I remember that. Okay, but yeah, they're dealing with it, I guess. And okay.
But yeah, there was just a lot of great moments in this issue. I love the kind of cyclical nature of how we had the flashback at the beginning and how it ties into the cliffhanger at the end.
Yes.
I love all of the kind of character development we're getting for Detective Chimp. And I just I don't know. I know he's not yet a super deep character, but I'm just really enjoying the really different interpretation of Man-Bat we're getting in this series.
I think we're getting
fun.
to a place where he's going to be a much bigger part. I think
he's
learning
is.
all this stuff.
He definitely is.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him to be like a sort of Q from James Bond of the magical universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited for him to kind of start trying to learn I don't know. There's a line there that they need to ride, but there is something fun about a scientist kind of trying to learn the rules of magic.
Totally.
But as long as they don't totally dissect it too much.
I feel that they kind of, what's interesting is that they kind of delved into that a little bit in the second Thor movie with Jane Foster. Cause she was a big part of that movie, and they involved a lot of parts of it where she was looking at all their crazy technology and stuff, and they kept saying it was magic, but she was like, oh, is that doing this and this? And she was like, oh yeah, then it's this. It's so cool. I really liked that about that movie.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing I liked about that movie. So There you go.
I feel like there were cool moments in that movie. I don't know. Then there was also Malekith. Anyways, so yeah, this book is really fun. I'm just
continues to be like one of the best superhero comics, I think.
Seriously, it's weird because it doesn't. It's nothing like crazy spectacular. Like it doesn't. Each issue doesn't blow me away with like, oh my god, this is a masterpiece or something. But it's just like it's really, really well done superhero comics. It's filling a niche that like I don't think even previous like Justice League Dark or like Dark Supernatural stuff in DC has really kind of capitalized on this well. I think this is like a book that is just kind of about that corner of the universe in a way that like is better realized than most other attempts at this kind of thing. And also it's just like, it's super my shit. Just like, this is the shit that I am probably the most interested in the DC universe. And I really, really enjoy it. And I really look forward to this series every week or every month.
Is it twice or no?
Is it? I don't think so. We're only on 5 now. It can't be. Well,
yeah. And we just got off the weekly thing. This is the first one since the weekly. So
I think it's month.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Anyways.
Okay. Cool. Let's talk about the other Justice League book, Doug.
Yeah, speaking of Justice League, I just wanted to do kind of a check-in on this one.
I mean, I'm down. I mean, I have stuff to say. Like this issue of, we're talking about Justice League, the part 3 of Drowned Earth.
Yep.
This is actually written by Tynion IV as well.
Yes, he's been kind of alternating with Scott Snyder on this.
Because he's Scott Snyder light. Just stop saying that. I gotta stop saying that when he like is his own writer and everything like that, you know. But when he keeps doing stuff like this, he's kind of being that, you know. I
think he's a close kind of collaborator with Scott Snyder a lot of the time, and he did kind of. It does. I don't know the specifics of like the arrangement, but like it does feel like he kind of like mentored under him for a while there, a few years. He was doing a lot of backup and fill-in writing for him. Now they're kind of doing a bit more kind of like trading off or co-writing stuff, but
I gotcha. Well, I thought this issue was much better written than the last issue of Drowned Earth that he wrote, of James Tynion IV. Also, this one was partially, and I'll put a specific note on partially, illustrated by Fraser Irving. Now, this probably takes home the prize of most like difference in art the entire time, and with no regards to like whether it's a specific section of it or anything.
Yeah, it started off like it was like following some sort of rule, like when we're in the like whatever what do they call
Black
it?
Manta stuff. It's
when
like
we're in
regular.
the Graveyard of Gods, like it's going to be Fraser Irving, but then it slowly just kind of like bleeds into the other parts,
which is kind of cool.
Yeah, but there's no logic to it.
I know, but honestly, I'll take it because I know Fraser Irving's art probably takes a long time to do, and that's why they had to do this.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking cool.
It's very good.
And honestly, like, this has probably been my favorite issue, even over the Francis Manapul ones, because I felt just really into everything going on, except for some of these flashbacks, because I really don't understand these flashbacks sometimes. I get that this one's about Black Manta, and one of the other ones about Mira. Okay, I guess I get it now. They're just going through different characters that are sea people, and like their relationship to the sea and everything.
Yeah.
In any case,
I would agree this was, you're talking about of this arc, this was your favorite?
Of this arc, yes.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think this one kind of won me back a little bit. I don't know that I'm like completely like bowled over like I was by some of the earlier Justice League stuff, but
it was just paced really well. I liked like the different people in the different sections doing the different things that I had a handle on what they were doing.
Yes,
like Batman in the Hall of Justice beating them up with the robot suit. It's awesome. I loved like what is it, Black Manta with these people. Black Manta's words in this kind of get a little bit cliche to me. I don't know. I've never read anything with Black Manta, so I don't know if this is like how he usually talks.
Yeah, I don't know. Black Manta is a character who like kind of, I don't know that anyone really has like a solid kind of character that they write for Black Manta. They just kind of write evil dude. And Scott Snyder's voice in this kind of is even a little bit all over the place for him. At times he's a little bit goofy, and other times he's like very serious, and I don't know. It's hard to nail down. I thought people's goals in this, as opposed to previous issues, were much clearer. I know what is at stake. I know what people are trying to do. It was much more straightforward than a lot of this arc has been in terms of understanding the literal nature of what's happening.
Even with things like what Cheetah and Lex Luthor are doing, that ties into the greater plot of what the Legion of Doom is trying to do. Yes. And they explain that in a pretty easy way, you know?
Yeah, they explained it they explained it in a way that ties into what they've been doing, yes, and makes the logic of what they're attempting clear before they do it.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that has really frustrated me in this series. For example, an example of them not doing that in this series. Mira makes a sword that saves them from this scenario when they're underwater.
Yeah.
From nowhere. She's just if I use this and this together, I can do this. And then it's okay, I didn't even know that was a thing we were trying to do. I don't know what... it just felt like it came from nowhere, and okay, all right, I guess we solved that. And it was a fairly small moment, so it didn't really matter, but I don't know.
But broken down, I totally see what you mean. We knew about the tier. I don't know if it's tier or tear.
I think it's tier. Tier, because it's water, Jack.
Okay, sorry. We know we've been trying to get the tier of extinction, and that this is the thing that's going to turn the tide in the thing. But then she just combines it with the sword. I thought the tier was going to do something.
Yeah.
But I guess it did do something, but it imbued the sword with power. It's just one of those things that muddies it up for no reason. You don't need to do that.
The logic is just very floaty and just I don't know. It's
like they wanted to use that logic to get to a cool panel of her slicing him. You know?
Yeah, it's all very, moment to moment kind of motivated. We want to see this cool thing happen, but the plot logic of it kind of suffers from that. You have to kind of give a good story alongside that. The internal logic of it has to follow. Anyways, I enjoyed this one much more than I have enjoyed the previous issues of this. I'm definitely going to finish out this arc.
Oh yeah, this is the last one. Is the last? Yeah, and it's Francis Manapul, I believe.
Which will help a lot. And I'm as much as I liked this, I'm very much looking forward to us getting out of this.
Yes.
Arc.
Well, because I feel like it's a game, between us and the writers. Okay, who's gonna win? Are you gonna fuck it up, or are we gonna like it? What's going on, you know?
Yeah, because I have really liked previous issues of Justice League, or some of the earlier stuff.
Yeah.
And I want it to get back to what was good about that stuff, because I think, this is kind of, it isn't quite hitting that nail, anymore.
Yeah. But all this stuff with Poseidon shows me that they are into telling stories where they explain his motivations and what is going on. I'm so glad it didn't turn out that he just murdered Aquaman for no reason at the end of the last issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, we never gave a spoiler warning at the beginning of this.
Oh, whoops. Well, so we lied earlier. Well, retroactive spoiler warning.
There you go.
We said we were talking about the books. But anyways.
Yeah, I liked it. I love Frank Sher Irving. He can do anything and everything, and I'll read it. What does he do? He's not on any ongoing series. What does he do with his life? Does he just sell his artwork?
I don't know. I don't know that he does any ongoing books. I think he just does kind of one-off things like this.
How does he make money, though? That's my main question about comics nowadays. How do artists that I never see doing full series, that I want to do full series, make their money?
They sell a lot of their art, or they'll do commissions.
Is that enough to sustain their lifestyle, though?
Must be. I don't know how. It probably depends on the artist, how profitable they are. But anyways,
Like, imagine if Fraser Irving did a whole, like, event of Justice League Dark or some shit like that. That'd be so fucking
amazing.
cool, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what he has even done recently.
Like, I'll buy his art. I'll do it if it's not thousands of dollars, which it probably is.
Like, let me see. He did, nope, but he did this with someone else again. I keep clicking on issues knowing that, like, he did that, like, he does a lot of one-off issues. Like, he did that issue of Doctor Strange, a while back, like, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyways, his art is beautiful. I'm sure people pay a pretty penny for, like, original panels or commissions from him.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, let's move on.
Okay.
We're both continuing this, yes?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to finish this out, and then at this point, even if I don't like the next issue, I'm probably going to give the first issue of the next arc a chance, and if it seems better than this one was, I'll continue. And if it seems around the same kind of quality level or whatever, I probably will drop it. But
just a heads up, I'm pretty sure the next arc is going to be what is going down with Jon Stewart, Hawkgirl, and Martian Manhunter.
Nice. So is that space then?
I think it's more spacey because they said they were like in Thanagar or something and they couldn't get to them.
That's cool. Anyways, yeah, that sounds interesting. What we got? Let's talk
Marvel Knights. What's going down? I love this series. I thought I read back to the series, read back to this issue more than any other issue. It's like, see, like, oh, this was so cool. Oh, this is great. I just love some of the background we got. I love this art, by the way. Henry Khan.
Yeah, he did a bunch
Damnation.
of Damnation, Doctor Strange Damnation, Nico. And I was really happy to see him back on this. I think he really fits.
He really fits, I think. And it feels somewhat similar to the last issue's art, but not really. But still really good.
It fits in the same kind of world. Like it didn't feel like a weird change. But
nonetheless, I love some of the background that we got on, like, how we got Punisher and Bruce Banner meeting. Mm-hmm. Like, we got, still, I love them opening up with Karen Page and Daredevil at the beginning. And then I think it's great writing to follow up with them at the end. So you know, it's like, this is the setup and the payoffs at the end. When we learn, like, my favorite part of this, probably week, my favorite moment is like, oh, you can see her too?
Yeah. Also, his face in that panel is very funny, Daredevil.
Yeah, because he's like, the contrast with him on the car, like, looking all strong on the page before. And it's like, oh shit, you can see her too?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I loved it.
Yeah, I was a little anxious about this issue because we were very excited about after that first issue because we really liked Donny Cates and we liked his story on that. And then going forward, the rest of these issues are going to be him co-plotting and then the co-writer scripting a different writer for each issue. So this one was Matthew Rosenberg. And I tried to read like his Multiple Man series that he did a little while back, and like, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't continue it. So I wasn't like, I haven't been blown away by something by him, but I thought this was really good. Like, it continued what we liked about that first issue in some really great ways.
Maybe, like, I don't know if I noticed this. I don't know if this is a placebo effect kind of thing, but I felt like I noticed a difference in the scripting, and I noticed that it wasn't Donny Cates scripting in a way.
Oh, for sure. Like, it did. I don't know that it was like a night and day difference, but like, you can feel it. You can feel that it's a different person writing it. There's a bit of a goofier bent to it in places. I think Matt Rosenberg is someone who does a little bit more kind of I don't know, sillier kind of stuff.
Interesting. Because he's on Punisher right now, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. But anyways, like, I really, but like some of that stuff is really great in this. Like, I really like the scene. Probably my favorite part in this is the scene with Punisher and Bruce Banner, where Bruce Banner is trying to explain to him how he's getting these notes from the Hulk.
Yeah.
And he's explaining to him, how he explains it is that, like, I wake up and children have written me notes. When I sleep, a child, or maybe children, they leave me notes. And then later, I feel like we're going in circles here, Officer Castle. I go to sleep, a child or children sneak into my home and make these notes. Then I try to decode them. It's not complicated. Like, if that's just a fucking thing that you could, like, what? They're just children, or a child or children entering my home.
It's insane. I love it. I think it's a great idea, too, because, like, it makes sense that the Hulk wouldn't be affected by this. And, it's great. I'm trying to read all these notes. I see Killmonger. I see Oshaka, Shahana. I don't know. I see a spider. I don't know a lot of these people, though, that he's writing down. Steve Rogers.
I see what is probably an attempt to write Blackagar Boltagon, which is Black Bolt. I see Underwater City.
Underwater City?
Is probably Atlantis.
Okay.
Steve Rogers.
I thought that was a devil sign over Steve Rogers at first, but he's just trying to draw the shield.
It's the shield. But all scribbled, yes, it does kind of look like a pentagram. Warren Worthington, which I believe is Angel in the X-Men, I think.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, so he's written down a whole bunch of people and concepts that he's trying to tell Bruce Banner about. And yeah, I also, it's just really funny that, like, of course he wouldn't. How would he know that that's, one, him writing these notes?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't remember it. And two, like, yeah, he's the fucking Hulk, so he's not going to have good handwriting. So what do you think when you see these when you wake up? Like, a child or children are sneaking into my home. It's great.
They must be. Wait, by the way, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about one moment that's kind of unexplained.
Okay.
Elektra stabs Frank Castle in the chest.
They revealed that he's wearing his Punisher armor.
Okay,
it's like a Kevlar. It's like a Kevlar vest.
I had no idea that it had that power.
Yeah, they didn't make it like clear that it was armor, but I mean, if you look at it, like, it looks like kind of Kevlar-y in the reveal, and I mean, it definitely was a reveal of, like, she stabs him and then he pulls it out and opens his shirt and there's Punisher underneath. So I think that's the idea, is that he was wearing that uniform is armored underneath.
I also didn't think that knives of that size didn't go through that, I guess. You know what I mean, though? Isn't that kind of weird? I never understood bulletproof vests like that Kevlar to, like, stop someone, like, stabbing a knife directly into your chest, you know? It's not steel.
Well, I guess it didn't here. I don't know.
I was just really confused. Like, for a second, I thought the reveal was like, he's immortal or some shit like that. Like, what the fuck? And then no one talked about it, and I was like, wait.
No, I think it just didn't go all the way through.
No, I think you're right, completely. I see that now, but I was just really confused for a second.
Like, I think there's a notch on the right side of that Kevlar vest that I think is... They didn't make it super clear, but, like, I think that's... Yeah, it at least stopped it enough that it didn't stab him in the heart, you know?
Yeah. But honestly, if this whole series is them going around... Like, I know it's going to be more than them just going around and making people remember and them having a fight, but I feel like that'd be a fun series nonetheless.
I think that's going to be a good chunk of it. Until, like, the last... I think that's probably going to be kind of the structure up until the last issue. We'll probably get some other stuff mixed in there. Yeah. Of them doing stuff together. But, like, I think that's kind of going to be the rhythm of the series. It's each issue we're recruiting more characters who to, like, remember the past. I'm so curious where this is going to go.
God, I wonder if Bruce Banner is going to Hulk out and then, like, what is it? And then the Hulk's going to, like, talk on his thing and tell people, like, try to tell people what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he Hulks out in the car here.
He seems to, and do you see the door opening in one of these panels afterwards? But we don't get a payoff for that. I wonder if that's going to pick up right at the end there, because...
It does! Ooh, I bet he escaped.
Oh, shit, he totally escaped. He's totally gone. But Bruce Banner's on the cover of the next one. Maybe that's just a fake out.
Is that Bruce Banner? I guess, yeah. Yeah, it's a disheveled-looking man with brown hair.
That's Bruce Banner.
Wow, that's Bruce Banner if I ever saw one.
But yeah, that's probably the implication. He probably just got out. Yeah.
I'm curious if they're gonna have him talk, because he currently is very articulate.
Yeah,
in his current in Immortal Hulk. Yeah. We read a couple new books this week. Do you want to tell me about Night Moves?
I do want to. I don't want to tell you about Night Moves.
Oh no!
You.
Keep it to yourself.
Okay, Night Moves. I really enjoy the art in this. It's almost anime-y. It's about. Do you want me to give you like a spoiler premise, or do you want me to give you just a premise?
You tell me what you think would like motivate me to read this, or I mean, I guess depending on if you liked it or not. But like,
it might be a little spoilery. Whatever. It's not going to be crazy.
I'm trying to be less spoiler averse lately.
You know, in comics, I can see why spoilers are bad. Like, obviously spoilers are not the best, but there's still something to appreciate about a comic, even if it's spoiled. You know?
Yeah, in general, I don't want to have like the ending of a thing spoiled or something, but like I've realized lately that like a lot of like the like fucking paranoia around spoilers on the internet these days is I think in a lot of ways starting to really hamper people's ability to just fucking talk about like current media. You know?
Yeah.
Like, to just be able to have a conversation about it. But anyways.
I can understand what you're saying.
And also, like, I don't know, sometimes you just need to be able to, like, tell me a bit about the story for me to want to read a thing, or watch a thing, or whatever. Anyways, sorry.
I don't know, watching things, sorry, this is a tangent, but watching things for me, I get super obsessed about what happens in movies. And my mind goes a million miles an hour when someone tells me just a little bit, but not too much. To where, like, I'll keep questioning it, like, oh, if that's the thing, then this is this, and this is this, and this is this, and that must be that. I make a lot of judgments, so I feel like, for me, I hate hearing spoilers about things I'm watching, but for reading, there's something else. Well, I guess, I'm going in circles in my mind. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. But
yeah, I also have a very similar issue, but I'm trying to be better about just kind of not getting freaked out by that stuff.
Trying to be a better person.
Anyways.
In any case, the main story here is a dude who's like a grifter kind of dude and a cop are teaming up because shit's going down, seemingly. And they're like a group of priests with shotguns shoots up a bar because they're all sinners. And then they go into a back room of the bar and they see a bunch of people in weird devil masks who are hypnotized or dead.
Okay.
So it's like this weird, like, Las Vegas, like, kind of crime duo who are doing supernatural shit and finding evil priests and who are
Is there actual supernatural shit? Or are they just dealing with, like, kind of, occult-obsessed people?
It might be cult-obsessed people, but it's surrounding a mystery that's... I mean, it does kind of feel like it might be just, like, the sort of mystery set in a cult-obsessed setting. And it could be that, but it does have really interesting, like, beats and everything like that. Some very cool art, like, they have a room where a bunch of people's heads are decapitated and some, like, monument to Mary. I don't know. It's really cool, though. I'm a big fan. I'm definitely going to read another issue. I'll tell you how it goes forward, but it's definitely good enough for me to keep reading.
And this is written by VJ and Justin Boyd.
Yeah.
And art by Clay McCormick.
Another Clay artist.
Mm-hmm. Clay. I find it very funny. I'm looking at a preview image of the cover right here, and on the cover it has Boyd, McCormick, Spicer. They wrote just their last names for both of these, I assume, brothers?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I just read my girlfriend's textbook. Samantha, her textbook for grad school has 4 people who have the last name Sue on the front. And they have the first name really small, and then they have Big Sue. And they do that 4 times. So it looks like they're just 4 people. Like, it says Sue, 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 Sue.
Well, yeah, that is a subconscious command. They're trying to get you to sue them.
Apparently, it's all about ethics and psychology, so maybe I need to sue them.
Yeah.
But I'm going to continue this. I'm really excited. I also wanted to use this opportunity to ask you if you did you pick up the new series Dead Rabbit or not?
I did not.
Okay, because I'm really beating myself up now for not doing it. You know why?
Why is that?
They recalled it this week.
They recalled it?
Because the publishing company is getting sued by this bar because their name is Dead Rabbit and they never got it. They never got permission.
What?
I don't know. It might be. I have no idea.
Is there a bar called Dead Rabbit in the series?
No, I have no idea. The series is called Dead Rabbit, and there's some bar or there's someone or someone who owns that trademark already, and they pulled the whole series. And so the 2 issues that they released are probably going to be really, really valuable now.
Dead Rabbit canceled by Image, mandatory recall ordered. What the fuck?
Isn't that crazy?
No information was given to explain the reason for this sudden cancellation, but speculation is that Image pulled the comic due to potential copyright or trademark claims on the name. A New York City bar named the Dead Rabbit Grocery and Grog.
Honestly,
that's not how copyright works. It's not if it was a comic about a bar named Dead Rabbit, but it's entirely different market.
Here, anybody can sue anybody. My guess is that they just didn't like the idea that they were associated with this thing, but they probably won't win.
Are they just going to rename it?
I don't know.
There was a weird thing a while back. There was a series. I think it might have been a Sam Humphries series. Anyways, it was called Collider, and it was basically about like the rules of physics are breaking down. It was okay. But anyways, a few after the second issue, or it was after the first issue. I don't remember, but I have a first issue that says Collider, and then they changed the name and then re-released the first issue under the name FBP, Federal Bureau of Physics, because something else was named Collider, and they didn't find out until afterwards. Huh. So I have the first issue is called Collider, and then they had to change it. And that's such a Federal Bureau of Physics is such a fucking like generic title for it compared to. Oh yeah, the second issue is literally so there's the title Collider at the top, and then there's a person's hand reaching in with an FBP badge holding it up over the title.
That's awesome.
It's actually pretty clever, but
you gotta get those appraised right now and get those graded by the comic people, because that's definitely a collector's item.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know that it's all that highly sought after of a series, but it was good. It's not Sam Humphries. It is someone named Simon Oliver, who I'm not familiar with. Anyway,
isn't it not always like necessarily sought after series? It's like this recall stuff when they're very valuable, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. But in any case, Night Moves. I'll get another one. I'm excited. Tell me about American Carnage, Doug.
Okay, so American Carnage is a new Vertigo book. It's written by Brian Hill, who he's been writing a bunch of stuff at DC lately. He wrote that Detective Comics arc recently that was introducing the new Outsiders, and they're getting a series upcoming. And then he wrote spin-off of the Wildstorm about Michael Cray, who's
that's what confused me, because they must have said from the writer of that.
Yeah.
So I was really confused. I thought this was related, but I guess it's not.
No, it's not. But it is by that writer, Brian Hill. It's art by Leandro Fernandez, who did a really good book that I think is going to continue at some point called The Old Guard with Greg Rucka, about a group of immortal mercenaries. It's very good. Anyways, so this book is about an FBI agent or former FBI agent who is black but passes for white. Like he's very light skinned. I think
Wait, that's like a thing in the story. You're not just commenting on it in the art.
No, like it is a pivotal plot point.
Oh wow.
He is basically, so they were investigating this kind of group of white what is, I guess, like white nationalist or white supremacist, I guess is a better term for it. White supremacist extremists in, I don't recall where this story takes place, but they were investigating a group of white supremacists who have this weird vague connection to this big philanthropist named Win Morgan. Okay. And they can't tie anything to him. He's just a person who like writes these very nationalist, rah-rah America kind of books, and who are very well liked by white supremacists, but they can't find any connection between them other than that. And so they're sending in this FBI agent, into this white supremacist group, to investigate their connection. And it's really good. It's really, I think it's like, it's really timely without hitting the like current political connections over the head. Like this character is not a Trump analog in a direct way, but like it's definitely like investigating some of the kind of feelings and fears about like people capitalizing on like white supremacy as a like
common thing,
as a group in America that you can use to gain power. So it's about a person who is catering to those people and trying to prove that he's doing it on purpose. And it's really good. Like, it's really well written. It's got a really good sense of intrigue. At least in this first issue up until the end, like you're kind of trying to suss out, like, is this dude connected to white supremacists?
Yeah.
And it's got a really good sense of intrigue. Some, like, the characters are really, this main character is especially, very interesting. I'm really enjoying it. I'm definitely going to pick up. I'm definitely going to continue this, kind of see it through. I don't know how long it'll be, but, I definitely recommend this book.
It reminds me of the movie Black Klansman that came out recently.
Yeah, I realized that as I was trying to figure out how to summarize this book. It is, he's not he is not a clearly black man in like infiltrating the KKK.
Well, yeah, no,
but it's a very similar idea that it is a black man who is embedding himself in a white supremacist group. So yeah, definitely kind of vibing on a similar thing there.
For sure. Okay, interesting. I might have to pick that up. That'll be fun.
Yeah, there's too many goddamn good new books.
I know.
I swear to God.
I know.
It's maddening.
Yeah, it really is. And getting all these trades for me, it really doesn't help either. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, you haven't seen this, but it's been crazy. With Samantha and how much she's reading now. She's reading every single one of the books I read, basically. It's insane.
Nice.
Like, she used to, like, pick up, like, I feel like it was just a few months ago that it was like, oh, she's reading, like, 1 or 2 this week, or like, oh, she has none this week, whatever. But now it's, like, every single one, and it's just crazy, like, the turnaround in comics in general, like, new series start and old series leave, and it's just, I don't know. You never really notice it. I don't know. I feel like I don't notice it all that much. It's just like, okay, well, we got this starting up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, once you get like a fairly heavy like pull list, and I mean, I feel like it's more about like once you get really aware of like what's coming out and who the creators are, like what to look for. Like, there's just so much that like I feel like there's just so much stuff that I can't miss.
Yeah,
like I can't not read like the new big Marvel Donny Cates thing or whatever, you know? Like,
yeah,
like there's just tons of shit like that. And then I'm always just afraid of missing out on like a lot of this other indie stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like I need to at least try it, but
totally.
Anyways, not a bad problem to have other than my wallet.
Yes, and space.
And space.
Oh, by the way, can we talk about this? Speaking of what I just said. Okay, so you know how digital comics are a really easy way to like make it more affordable and for space and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is that as we get more and more subscription services, we are owning less and less media. We're more renting it.
Yep.
Which is kind of scary to me because like, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm not like a tinfoil hat person, but like in the future, if any sort of group wants to control media or something, all these subscription services make it really easy for large groups of people to control media that you may be paying for or may have already paid for. So like getting physical comics, for example, is really attractive to me, even in a world where digital might be better. Does that make sense?
Are you a comic book apocalypse prepper?
Apparently, is that a thing?
It's a thing that you're inventing.
Well,
right
okay,
now.
I think it's a real thing because, like, don't you think, like, I know it's a little worrisome that we're owning so much less media. Like, even when you buy things on iTunes, you're not really owning it. It's through iTunes. They can shut that down on you if you want. Sure. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I was thinking about my dad's like huge record collection. Like, that's something that people are not gonna have because why not just go on Spotify? You know, but there's something like really good, I think, about owning like your media and having it with you. And I don't know. Yeah. Maybe that's old school or traditionalist. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely something that's kind of terrifying about the idea of everybody like moving towards these models where you don't own the thing. And like, what if you have your whole comic collection on Comixology or whatever, and one day Comixology gets shut down.
Exactly.
You know, like,
they get raided or some
disappears. I don't know. Like, it is kind of freaky, but also at the same time, like, I feel like if you are going in on that model, like, yeah, it would suck to lose all that stuff, but it is, I feel like it is piece that you have to make going into it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you are dooming yourself to that disappointment, because those things probably aren't going to last forever.
Yeah.
But,
and I don't think I'm ready for that piece. I don't think I can make that piece.
Yeah.
You know?
That's part of why I haven't made the move yet, but
I was thinking about like,
there's so much, it takes up so much space.
I know. I was thinking about like, if I had a subscription service like that, I would use it to like discover new series. And then I would like only buy the physical copies of stuff like I knew is like awesome.
Sure.
You know, like you have your giveaway pile. Like everything in your giveaway pile would be something you could look at on your subscription service. That'd be a lot cheaper.
I mean, like, I don't think I would stop buying trades. I probably wouldn't buy like stuff I'd never read before.
Yeah.
Trade. But like, I would definitely still buy like something that I like absolutely loved, like, and I want to have, because I don't know, I'm a collector like that, and I want to have I want to further support the thing that I love. And yes, I would want to have a version of it that like I absolutely have forever.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like there's a way for those two things to coexist, for you to like save the space, but then also buy physical versions of the things that you absolutely want to have and support.
Mm-hmm. I just get scared about all big companies basically owning all this media that you don't get to own. You know, it's just weird.
Big government gonna come in and they're gonna take my comics. I know it
sounds like that. I don't want to sound like that, but like
I have a right to bear comic books.
Nonetheless, I just want to talk. My last thing I want to talk about in terms of weekly comics is Black Hammer, because holy shit, I thought it was fucking awesome. The creator fucking shit that they talked about.
It's really cool. Part of it feels a little self-indulgent to me.
Oh, I don't think so at all. I think it makes so much sense. And this goose, I went back. It does show up in the last...
I remembered it. I remembered it from one of the Golden Gale flashbacks early on in the series.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It was like when she like hangs out the mantle to go be with Sherlock Frankenstein.
Yeah, when she has like a gathering of the Golden Gale family or whatever. I don't know what they're called.
The Marvel family.
I mean, basically, yes. What do they call them? The Shazam family now? Ugh. Anyways. But yeah, like, this issue was very fun. It's very meta in, like, they go to basically the realm where, like, where characters and ideas and universes come from, which is these giant, I assume, comic book writers. This one is definitely Jeff Lemire, but,
can you recognize any of the other ones?
They're so cartoony. I don't know that I could immediately identify all of these people's bodies and chins.
There will be an interview someday where he goes through them, I'm sure.
I'm sure all of these people are supposed to be specific other comic book creators. But I don't know that I can say. Maybe.
Wait, the guy next to Jeff Lemire in this big 2-page with holding the paintbrush, that's gotta be the artist on this book, right?
I would assume it's Dean Ormston.
Oh,
or maybe it's Rich Tommaso in this. I don't know. No, I guess in this it probably would be Rich Tommaso, right? I have no idea.
I don't know.
No clue.
I thought it was really cool though, like turning the page from like, I thought it was really cool, like this is the creator. Oh, that's awesome. Then you turn the page like, oh, of course there are more.
Maybe these are all the people who have been involved in Black Hammer books. I don't know.
Possibly.
Don't know.
I could see that.
But their heads are all in these clouds. I thought it was a really cool, novel way to kind of play around with that idea. And it was very fun.
It makes sense in the story too.
It does. It kind of it definitely breaks the fourth wall in a fairly major way. But I do think it's a fun little kind of diversion. I don't think it'll take away from like the story. The main story at all, especially since like Captain or Colonel Weird is the crazy one.
Yeah,
like maybe he imagined all this. I don't know. At least that's how you could logic that out.
Well, we'll find out.
I am interested to see where this series goes from here because they call the next issue at the end here the reboot.
I think this is the next series because this doesn't start till February. I believe this is a trade break.
Sure. Is it continuing with a number 8 or are they doing another number 1?
I don't know that. Cause I have no idea. Don't ask.
Anyways, they also have a little, preview here, not preview, but, promo here at the end for Cthulhu Louise.
You're picking that up, right?
That's very good. Oh yeah, I am committed to any and all Black Hammer things until one of them turns out to be crap, but it has not turned out to be crap yet.
I'm excited. I'm probably going to wait for trade on both Sherlock Frankenstein. Oh, I know for Sherlock Frankenstein's already out. I'm just going to wait for trade on Cthulhu Louise too, because I don't want to have to go out and get it and read it and, all that.
Oh, it's so difficult. Gotta go out and get it and read it. And,
die in a hole.
Yeah, this little 2-issue arc here was very fun.
Yeah?
I especially love Inspector Insector. He's so good.
It's great.
I love him.
It's great stuff.
I love how he smokes a cigarette he holds it in between his pincers, like 5 inches from his face.
Yeah.
It's very good. Ham sandwich. Who I feel like should be like ham slamwich if he's supposed to be an Abraham Slam.
It is sandwich, isn't it?
Is it sandwich?
Oh, I thought it was.
I'm trying to find it with them saying his name.
I have to go look now. Let's see here. What?
Ham sandwich.
Sandwich. Okay, yeah. Wow.
Very silly.
Very good.
Yeah. But this 2-issue arc, very fun.
It was fun. Big fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Last thing, I just wanted to ask you, Immortal Hulk, yes or no?
Did I like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know that I had a lot to say about it.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a good issue. Again, another weird kind of,
Art.
Weird, division in the art that, like, at least they kind of, like, had a pacing to it in this, even though, like, there wasn't necessarily, like, a logic.
There was.
It did have a logic for a while, and then they kind of came together, and it didn't necessarily have a logic to it then, but, like,
I can see that.
Rhythmically, it worked. Like, they did basically every other page. And that worked just fine.
And I liked how they made it look very much like the art on Saladin Ahmed's Black Bolt.
Yes, they picked an artist for the Crusher Creel Absorbing Man stuff that does feel like Christian Ward.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It's not Christian Ward, and it is different looking, but it has a style that definitely reminds you of that. Mm-hmm. I thought that was smart. I would assume that was on purpose.
Gotta be. It's gotta be.
But yeah, this issue was good. They basically made Absorbing Man into the new Red Hulk.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna survive this. Like, I mean, theoretically he's immortal, so
it kind of murders him at the end, doesn't he?
Well, no, Hulk doesn't murder him.
Oh no, that's right. It's his dad,
or whatever is taking the form of his dad.
Yeah, this weird demon.
I don't know. I'm pumped. I'm excited to see this because this look of him is just horrifying too. Like the last image.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with that. Like, is he just going to be a spine?
I have no idea.
So strange. He's got giant saber-tooth fangs.
Whatever. I'm down.
Yeah, I like the idea of Absorbing Man as the Red Hulk. I don't know if it seems at the end like they're keeping that, but I think that's a fun kind of way to advance that idea.
Yeah.
Like, give a bit more. I feel like that's a cool way to give a bit more character to the concept of the Red Hulk.
Yeah. I can feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. Doug, do you want to talk about what we got next week, or do you have any more to say about our weeklies this week?
I think that's about all I've got to say.
Okay.
Next week we have Action Comics number 1005.
Is this the one I keep saying, like the new John Kent, or is that coming up later?
That's in Superman.
Okay.
But you are seeing, we are getting promos for John Kent coming back starting in, I think, January.
He's not going to be evil, is he? Because he has yellow, evil-looking eyes.
The solicitations definitely are making it feel like he's going to be, but I assume that's going to be like, that's what the struggle is, and they got to make sure he's still good. I don't know. Anyways,
whatever.
I'm sure he'll be good at the end. That would, boy, would I be annoyed if they made him evil. Anyways, yeah, Action Comics 1005, Heroes in Crisis. I did not put a number here, but it's 3, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't put numbers on any of this shit, other than Action Comics. Anyways, Heroes in Crisis.
Marvel 2-in-1.
We also have Marvel 2-in-1. Start of... that's right, it's Invisible Woman and Human Torch.
It's the last Marvel 2-in-1.
Wait, is it?
Yeah. They're not going to have any more, I don't believe.
Are you sure?
I thought I read that somewhere. I don't believe it's listed anymore. Here, I'll look it up. You keep going over what you got in new books coming out.
That's upsetting, because I am not reading Fantastic Four anymore.
I know.
And
me neither.
Upsetting. Also, there's a couple new series, there's a new series. Also, I saw, is Shazam not coming out next week now?
No, it's coming out in December 15th, I believe, in fact.
It got delayed?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's disappointing. I was excited for it.
It is.
So, there's a new Hellboy and the BPRD book. Hellboy and the BPRD 1956.
Is that something I can read?
Next week. Yeah, those series are very standalone.
Okay.
They're a standalone little graphic novel, or like they'll. I don't know how many issues this one is going to be. It could be a one shot. It could be multiple issues. I have no idea. But the stories of these Hellboy and the BPRD things are tales of the early days of Hellboy in the BPRD, and they're pretty standalone.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to.
So yeah. If you're interested in it, you could definitely try that. But I don't know that you have to. I'm going to. And then there is a DC
Winter Special, DC Nuclear Winter Special. That's what it is called. It's a bunch of like alternate timeline or future stories.
Interesting.
Set around winter. I don't know if this is taking the place of a Christmas special or if this is in addition to a Christmas special. Not sure.
By the way, I saw something online commenting that in a previous winter special, apparently Santa is someone who can breach Darkseid's forces because all you have to do is give him coal.
What?
Apparently in a previous winter special,
that must have been before last year because I read last year's and I do not remember that.
It probably was someone. Someone was talking about Santa Claus online, and did you see that thing in Bulgaria? How Russians were getting mad that people in Bulgaria were vandalizing one of their Soviet monuments and making them into American comic book characters.
What? No.
Yeah. It was a whole thing. And so they're mad that they're spray painting this like war monument to like show like Superman in it, or like Santa Claus is in it too, and like Ronald McDonald is in it, and then also Wolverine is in it, Captain America is in it, and it's really weird. But people were saying like, oh, and yeah, those comic book characters, Ronald McDonald and Santa Claus. What? And then I heard that Santa Claus apparently was a major part in stopping Darkseid in a holiday special, which is funny to me.
That's hilarious. I don't think I read that, but that's absolutely absurd.
Yes.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'll probably get these new ones. Maybe not the winter special. I'll see about that. I don't know if I'm into that. But the 1956 one, I think I actually read one of those, didn't I?
I think you did. I vaguely remember you reading one.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you liked it or not, but
I think I liked it. I don't know.
They're usually like, they're fun. Like,
they're nice stories.
They're fun little standalone little stories about Hellboy investigating some paranormal shit. It's a Hellboy story. They're pretty straightforward. Okay. They're I wouldn't say they're like to the quality bar that like one of the mainline Hellboy books is, but like they're very fun, and if you want some Hellboy stuff, they are a good place to go for that.
Okay.
Cool.
Now, Doug, before we leave here today, I have two short things to say or ask.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Sure.
So, I want to tell you what's going on in this last part of this Dan Slott Spider-Man book that I read.
Okay.
Because it's great, and I want you to know what you're missing, so you can have that FOMO more.
Nah.
So at the beginning of this arc, what they were dealing with was the lizard.
Okay.
And they had cured the lizard, Dr. Connors, of being the lizard, but he was like this human that was insane, thinking he was a lizard, trying to get back to being a lizard, and like running around this facility and shit like that. And it was really a really cool thing. Like he's discovering new mammal, quote unquote, feelings again and everything like that. And it was really fucking awesome. It was one of my favorite things.
Huh.
So, that's what you were missing.
Okay.
It involves, I won't go into that more so, but I thought that was awesome. My second thing is a question. As I was diving into too many trades on this Black Friday, I noticed that the trades of the Manhattan Projects and East of West look exactly alike. And I don't know if that means they're related or if they are just a similar color scheme and style because it's Hickman and Image.
Hickman books at Image tend to have a very specific design to them. I don't know exactly where. I assume that's a thing that he wants on his books, or maybe he has a similar person designing them, but they all seem to like go together. They're not, I don't think that means they're like continuity wise connected at all. They're all pretty, I haven't seen any crossover between any of them.
Yeah.
But and they're all pretty really different weird. Concepts. It is weird, but also, I don't know, I kind of like it. Like, it's kind of a cool thing, like, that you can, like, look at it and go, like, oh, that's a Jonathan Hickman book, basically. Like,
but also there are other ones that are not the same at all. Like, Black Minded Murders I have also by Hickman and Image, and it looks nothing like these. And these look literally exactly the same. I'll take a picture of it.
Black Minded Murders, I feel like, has a similar style.
Maybe I'm not describing this. They look identical. I'll post a picture or something. I'll show you. It's really weird. Or you can just look at your comic book store. They look at East of West and look at whatever. It's the same, and then look at another Hickman image book.
But they even the ones that you're saying don't look identical have they still kind of live in that same wheelhouse. They're white and black, and then they have some sort of color accent, and it's very geometric and stripes, and it's very clean and designy. They look unique compared to other comic books. They have a very consistent look, even if they're not that exact look that you're talking about that those two look like.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's just he wants his books to look a consistent way, which I think is cool.
More power to him. Okay, those are my questions / thoughts.
Cool. All right. That's going to do it for this week. If you made it this far into the show, thank you so much for listening. The absolute biggest thing you can do for us as a show is give us a review or star rating on iTunes. If you enjoy the show, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse or with your computer.
Thank you.
Don't just tell rodents. I
hate you sometimes.
I know a rodent would probably enjoy the show, but, let some human people know. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back in next week, or better yet, subscribe to the show. Never even have to think about it, just shows up on your phone.
Yes, and you can do that on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, and Google Play Music, and also Spotify. So whichever podcast app you prefer, we've got you in a cupboard.
I also remembered, I haven't mentioned the last few episodes, we got accepted onto iHeartRadio recently, so we're on that
Look at that! That's awesome. I work with iHeartRadio a lot, actually, because I work in media and stuff like that, so that's fun. Cool. That's exciting. Maybe they did it because they know me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's nepotism.
Wow. I don't even know what that word means. What does that word mean?
It's this type of fish.
Oh, thanks. Fried, usually? Yeah?
Yep.
Great. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered. You can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com and on our YouTube channel. We have video versions on Facebook as well. But check it out, please. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or at our email or at our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening. I am Nepotism.
And I'm Doug. This has been Comics Covered.
Yes, Nepo.
Thanks.